can recount the events as you remember as vividly as you possibly can.
Yeah, I can remember. It wasn't too long ago. I was leaving one of my real estate job sites in the inner city, wrapping it up for the day. It was about 5:15. Took me about 45 minutes to get home. So I'm proud to go home. Shannon, something I want you to know is when they say it's an affluent neighborhood, it's one of the most wealthiest neighborhoods in Ohio.
Wow, congrats.
And my house is the best house in the neighborhood.
That's what I'm talking about.
Because
come on now.
I designed it from scratch. I'm an architectural designer. I bought the land, I financed the land, designed it from scratch, and I built it from the ground up using all my resources. So proud to come home. I'm pulling up, checking out my Christmas lights we just put up for the holiday season. And there happens to be a lady in the driveway with 2 kids. So I don't think nothing of it. Kids coming in and out my house all the time. I got kids, got a family over here. I don't think nothing of it. I think she's looking for the front door. I say, hey, are you looking for somebody? She doesn't answer. She then proceeds to go to the porch. So I'm like, okay, so she's probably coming over. So I pull in the driveway. I'm about to park, and she rings the doorbell and comes to the front of the front porch and stops me and says, do you live here? And I said, yeah, I live here. She said, well, I don't think so. So I said, well, what are you doing here? She says, I don't think you live here. Picks the kid up, drops the stroller, hops off the porch, starts running, and I hear screaming, yelling for help.
Now, I ain't gonna lie to I ain't gonna lie to y'all, man. This pissed me off. Like when I saw this, I was like, bro, I gotta do a video on this, man. I got to. I know some of y'all probably heard about it, but for you to be a person who overcame a whole bunch of obstacles and built your life, to become a successful black man, and have to deal with stuff like this. Wait, hold up. Y'all hear that?
Ooh. All right. Woo. This is like
we back with another reaction. Yeah, but this serious, man. But this man built his whole life, became successful. And this woman literally tried to line him up, bro. Get him locked up for no reason. No reason. And I'm so happy. I'm so happy this man had cameras on his house and caught it on camera. Because if he had not had cameras on this house, there's no telling how this would have played out. Because they would have had no proof. But this type of behavior, this stuff, we got to nip in the butt. We got to put this on blast because this right here is what's wrong with the world today. This type of thinking and people getting away being like this. This is terrible how she did this, man. And I don't want to talk too much longer, but put y'all cash up in the comments. Y'all know how I do. If you're new to the channel, I'll be blessed in the comments. And if you don't believe that, just ask the comments. They're going to let y'all know because they rock with me. Feel what I'm saying? So let's get the video to 1,000 likes, man. Let's push this video off. Make sure this video gets as many as possible. Like the video, share the video, do whatever. But this stuff just can't go on, man. But let's look at it.
We need to. What's going on?
Do you live here? Yeah. You do?
Papa.
As you get to this home that you're paying for, this strange woman begins to question whether or not you live at that particular house in that neighborhood. And when you respond back with yes, they react in this manner.
I don't believe that.
What?
I don't believe that.
So what are you doing here?
Rory, come on. Rory, come on.
Hey.
how confused, scared, and frightened you would be? As you walk up to your own home, a white woman begins to scream at the top of her lungs, help, as she runs away. Yo, you probably thinking, bruh, they about to Emmett Till me, bruh. This is unfortunately what happened to this brother right here called Mike Jenkins. Mike Jenkins was minding his business, and this woman began to scream, terrified, because he answered her yes. Now, she was so terrified, she screamed, ran to one of the neighbors' houses, called the sheriff, then called her husband to come and save her. Now, she told her husband and the sheriff that she was screaming and running because she was being chased by this brother here called Mike Jenkins.
Did someone come here?
That was my wife. Somebody chased her up here. And she had kids.
Who chased her?
She said somebody in a silver truck.
There was a guy in a gray truck. And he came around the corner and I was in the street. And so I come up and I just have my kids. And so I'm like gonna pretend that I'm coming home. And so I pull up and I start walking to your back gate. And he stops here and he goes, "Are you looking for someone?" And I said, "Nope." And then he sat here and I was like, "I need to get in."
Well, that's my husband. That's why he lives here. Yeah. He lives here. So he came in and he said there's a lady screaming. And I'm like, that's...
She got all worried. That she
I'm scared the crap out of me.
How?
I'm so sorry.
How did he scare you, though?
I kind of wish they would have allowed her to finish whatever she wanted to say, because you could tell she was getting ready to gaslight and totally misrepresent the scenario. And I kind of wanted her to sort of dig her own hole before the husband revealed himself. Because as soon as the husband walked out, she started saying, you scared the living hell out. Oh, how? How did he scare you? He answered with yes. You had your mind made up already. This man was a danger, and nothing he would have said would have reassured you and stopped you from running off like that.
I just seen her in the driveway and I was like, "Are you looking for somebody?" Because I was pulling up out.
And I saw someone walking in our driveway, too. And I'm like, why is someone walking in our driveway?
Well, I'm sorry.
All right, sorry.
What?
I don't.
She said that someone was following her. So you were walking from there?
No, you came this way, didn't you?
No, I came down this street right here.
Yeah.
And I was riding slow because I'm looking at our Christmas lights.
Well, you just have to understand my point of view. Being by myself with 2 kids, I just saw a car coming, and so I was like, "Oh, it scared me," and so I just pulled up here, and I kept thinking, this could be his house. But you didn't say, "This is my home." You just said, "Are you looking?"
Her husband starts off this interaction by exposing her for lying to him. She told him she was being chased. She wasn't being chased. And then she begins gaslighting, and when the husband comes out, she starts just lying. She tells him, you could have said this was your home, but when you asked him, "Do you live here?" he said, "Yes, I do." And you said, "I don't believe you." But she doesn't even account for none of that. She strictly puts the blame on him and says, you could have told me you lived there or this was your home. And the husband had to correct her like, "Ma'am, I did. You didn't believe me and you ran away screaming and telling people that I was chasing you."
It's like,
I did. When you was on the porch, you asked me, "Did I live here?" I said, "Yeah."
And you said, no, you don't.
And you said, "I don't think you do."
it was obviously you could tell that I was really caught off guard.
Like I'm pulling in my, it's like I'm pulling in my house. Like this neighborhood is probably one of the best neighborhoods in Ohio.
It is.
You don't have to worry about stuff like that.
Well, I'm very sorry. I really hope that you're not upset with me.
Come on, baby, go in the house. Let's go.
You told me that I didn't. You said you didn't think I live here.
It was the way that you were talking. I was so caught off guard. I'm so sorry.
So obviously they put her on blast. They posted a video on social media. It got hundreds of millions of impressions. They posted flyers and notes all around their little neighborhood about what she did. So because she's getting a lot of backlash, her life right now is pretty much ruined. Her small business have been trashed with bad review. People right now is giving her...
She deserved all of that. And I don't understand. I don't think she understands, or she might understand the severity of what could have happened. So somebody could have popped out with a gun or anything and inflicted violent force on him, thinking that he really trying to hurt a little yite girl with 2 kids, this big burly black man with these 2 little girls. You know the narrative that could have been surrounding that story? If it wasn't cameras, that's why I thank God that it was a camera that caught the whole interaction. She don't understand what could have happened to that man. She don't understand that. How bad that could have ended up. That right there, we cannot have this. She just created a whole situation, bro. A whole situation that could have got that man violently hurt. You know what I'm saying? This stuff really pissed me off, bro. We're going to continue to hear what she got to say.
The worst press ever. So she decided she's going to take to her social media platforms to explain herself and explain exactly why she did what she did.
And all the things. So I want to jump on here because my Facebook is public. And for those of you guys who are telling me that I owe a public apology, one, I will not apologize for making any sort of racist remark. I am the furthest thing from a racist. I will, however, apologize that my expression could ever come across in such a way, or that somebody could think something of that nature of myself and my family. So, long story short, I need to give the context because there's a lot of y'all who are, I'm sure, coming to my page right now, not knowing.
But to me, this is beyond race. To me, when I look at this video, race is the least of my worries. I see a man having to deal with false accusations. This reminds me of the viral question that women keep answering when they ask, would you rather be stranded alone on an island with a bear or a man? And they all said a bear. That's because men, our presence are automatically viewed as a threat. And because we're automatically, the onus is now on us to make you feel comfortable at our expense. In this situation, she lies and says that this man was chasing her. She also lies and says that he never confirmed that he lived at that particular home. And if he didn't have proof that that was a lie, everyone, including his wife probably, would have put the onus on him for not making this woman comfortable enough to where she didn't have to run away. Think about it, bruh. If it was a woman driving that car, do you think she would have felt threatened? If it was a woman who answered her, yes, I live here, you think she would have said, I don't believe you, and run away? She wouldn't.
He says, this is my house.
But think about it. If you really, like he said, if you're really fearful of someone, you going to sit up here and say, ask some questions? Is this your house? Well, I don't think it is. Like, I bet he was like, what she got on? Yeah, but like I said, thank God for them cameras, man.
And I said, I don't think that it is. And at that point, the only reason that I said that was because truly the awkward encounter of slowing up behind me, talking to us multiple times.
Bruh, these scallywags are scandalous, bruh. Like, literally made the situation impossible for him to navigate. There's nothing he could have done. Your mind was already made up. Him driving up slowly in his own driveway, but still being courteous enough to speak to you guys, still came off as a threat and suspicious. If he would have drove up his driveway slowly behind you guys and not say a goddamn thing, you would have thought he was a threat too.
I'm in this frantic state. It's late at night. I got my kids, my 2 babies. The lady at the door is not answering. There's no other homes that are well established. I mean, there's construction. It's a corner house. I'm just thinking, oh my gosh, I'm on the front porch. This truck literally is halfway up the driveway. And I was like, my radar was like, nope, I don't think that this is your house. And so I said, I don't believe that this is your house.
Oh, how nice of you to finally remember that detail when you deliberately omitted that from the story, when you told your husband he was chasing you and you wanted people to think that he was a perpetrator and you were the victim.
And so I'm starting to unbuckle Cash and I grab and I freak. I go, Rory, run. And so I take off the porch and I literally run as fast as I can, screaming at the top of my lung. I'm getting all these messages. I'm so sorry. Screaming at the top of my lung. I've never, ever, ever screamed the way that I screamed. And I'm running through the front yards of everybody, praying that the Ring doorbell would capture us. Finally, to get to a woman's house, I'm bang on the door. And at this point, I'm dialing 911, and I said, can I please come in? And the woman said, yes, come in. And so I'm staying there, I'm talking to the sheriff, and more than anything, I was not looking for him to come to my rescue at this point. My husband was going to come. I'm in this woman's house. The door is closed. And I told the man, he said, do I need to come out? And I just said, no. I said, I was just calling to let you know that this just happened. My husband's going to come get me.
This is where I start to smell BS, and it gets really annoying because she's playing in all our faces. This woman wants us to believe that while screaming help, running for her life to a neighbor, she gets on her phone, calls 911, and as she's talking to the sheriff, she tells the 911, hey, I don't want y'all to come out. I just want y'all to know what's going on. So why did you pick up your phone and call 911 if your intentions weren't for them to come out? Of course it was. Of course your intentions was for them to come out. And that's why you were running, calling them as you were screaming help. You wanted them to come and help you because you thought that man was a danger strictly because he was a man, probably with dreadlocks. Who knows? But yeah, so her trying to, I guess, admit that and say, no, I didn't want them to come out. I was only calling to let them know what was going on. Says nobody ever. Shows that she understands the context. She understands how dangerous it is to call the police on somebody innocent doing nothing wrong, knowing how a lot of these police interactions turn out. And the fact that she knows the consequences and she knows exactly how dangerous her actions was, but still trying to make excuses for it shows this is a dangerous woman.
And he says, he asked me if I wanted him to come out, and I said no. And so the woman then, I was at her house, she literally asked me and said, she said, I don't know how to ask this. She goes, but was it a black man? Because she goes, it's a black family that lives there. And I said, no, I believe that this is a white man. He was a white man in a truck, a young white.
There's no way you could have, come on. Them thick, long dreads. You talking to him. Ain't no way in the world you thought that was a white man. Come on, bro. We ain't fool. You ain't fooling us, man.
Man is what I said. And she said, okay. She goes, because that's a black family that lives there. And I said, no, I don't think that it was a black man. And then when my husband got there, I stood out front, and we're still trying to get the Ring doorbell footage of me talking to my husband. But he asked me again, he said, what house was it? And I said, it was this house right here. And he goes, are you sure it wasn't a black guy? He goes, because that's a black family. And I said, no, I don't believe that it was a black man.
Now, to her defense, could you mistaken this particular brother here for a white man?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
At nighttime, you probably could. All right, depending how far you are, you could probably look at him at nighttime and figure out, okay, he's probably white. But do I believe that, her thinking that he was white took away all her prejudices? No. All right, because I believe that somebody like this, who's so stuck up in their own world, could very well be prejudiced towards a white man with dreadlocks. I believe the hair played a factor in her running off and automatically perceiving him as a threat. So her thinking he was white doesn't do anything for me. All right. She still made a judgment. She was still prejudiced towards whoever that person was that she believed, white, black, Indian, or whoever. And, she almost put that person's life at risk by calling the police on them for doing nothing other than driving up in their own driveway.
And so we get in the car and we go to pick up the stroller. And I've said this a million times, I have never felt the fear that I had even just pulling up in front of the house when John opened the door to get out of the truck. The amount of, I've never went into fight or flight like that before. And once again, I said, I am so sorry. And they truly, they did not take my apology. And that night, I went.
I would have told the lady, man, get off my house. Talking about sorry. You know what could have happened? You know what you could have did to me? I forgive you. I got to because I'm a Christian. But don't ever come around my place again in your life. I want to see you nowhere near my don't look at me. You hear me? For real, bro.
home. And so if you guys saw on Instagram, I shared the story twice. The only reason that I shared the story is because I was heartbroken and it was a really scary night.
This woman, for some reason, thinks she's slicker than what she really is. Obviously, the only reason why she took to social media the night it happened was because she understood situations like this usually end up on social media. So she wanted to take to social media twice that night to get ahead of the story, right? To tell her side of the story and hopefully, right, take away some of the damage the story is gonna do once the neighbors decide to blast her on social media. You ain't slick, woman.
I've always shared everything on Instagram. And so that night after that whole instance happened, I literally was sitting on the steps, first of all, and John kept trying to talk to me. I kept telling him I was so sorry. And I've never, just the panic. I literally could not come down from this fight or flight. From the time that I was at the woman's house to literally 30 seconds later, telling the woman that I was just followed to the man stepping out on the front porch and it being his house. It was all of these different emotions. And so I'm sitting at home, literally having this meltdown. And I kept telling John I was so sorry. I felt really stupid. And, so on the way home, I forgot to say that the cop was driving around our neighborhood and, I'm getting all these messages. I'm so sorry. The cop was driving around our neighborhood and I stopped him. We stopped him and I jumped over, rolled the window down and I said, I am so sorry. I said, I'm so sorry. I said, it was his house. It was a misunderstanding. I'm so sorry. He was like, it's okay. I'm glad everything's fine. I was like, yes, it's fine. So I ended up.
Okay. Do you want a Nobel Peace Prize here, lady? So then she continues after, I guess, the logical shtick didn't work. So then she tries to trauma dump on us. She goes ahead and tells us this elaborate story about how somehow an event that took place with her as a child somehow played a factor in her decision making as a fully grown adult this week. So let's check out exactly this traumatic event as a child that somehow played a factor in her decision making this week.
Followed 20 minutes home and my car was broken into when I was at the store. And when I was
see, what a tear is that, bro? She got the fake, and then watch, her face gonna straighten up. You know what I'm saying? That fake crying and stuff don't get me, bro. I hate when that happens. I'm triggered by, bro. Look, trying to play victim, bro. Come on, bro.
Girl, we had a man banging on our door and helicopters hovering over our home. So, did I overreact? Yeah, maybe a little bit. But I showed up at the door and I said that I was sorry 2 times. People are going as far as saying they're not genuine apologies, that I'm out to get them for whatever reason that is. I don't know how it could be twisted that way when I literally thought he was a white man. So, I knew it wasn't going to stop there, but the Facebook page stuff was deleted. Not me ever asking for any of it to be deleted. I made a public apology to them through the video to a whole Facebook page of almost 500 residents in our neighborhood. And then I posted in the comments multiple times when people were just saying, disgusting and just tearing down our family's name. I once again came on and I said, if there's ever an opportunity to reconcile, I will. I'm so sorry I could have ever offended you.
Listen, we have been hard on her, but I do believe that regardless of whether or not we believe her, I do believe that I guess she has done enough, if we're being honest, to sort of reconcile or make the situation okay, I guess, right? Cops never showed up. Nobody really got harmed, truly. She got embarrassed. Her business got destroyed. She's online trauma dumping. So I do believe at this point, she has, I guess, learned her lesson. And I don't believe that she would do this again to somebody else. Or at least, make sure that there's no Ring camera there when she does it. But yeah, bro, do I believe that these people are forced to reconcile with her or forced to accept her apology? No. But I do believe that, if they do proceed to sort of repost this almost every week, and attempt to, ruin her further, I guess that will be a tactic.
Nah, my boy. You really don't know exactly how far she would have gone if the situation wasn't on camera. It's easy to ask for forgiveness now when we got it on camera. Oh, I'm sorry, yeah. But imagine if that situation wasn't on camera, how bad it could have been. That's how you got to look at it. You know what I'm saying? We seen lives taken for situations that wasn't on camera. So if this wasn't on camera, ain't no telling how it would have went. So that's why I say behavior like that, man, it just got to stop, man. Because she could, like I said, she could have ruined this man's whole life. Anything could have happened. You know what I'm saying? And I'm pretty sure it wouldn't have ended like that. I'm telling you, if it wasn't no cameras involved. Anything could have happened. Her husband could have came down with a gun, like thinking somebody coming after his wife, and just right there. You know what I'm saying? Because I know if my wife called me screaming frantic that somebody chasing her, when I jump out, ain't no talking. Somebody could have got hurt. That's his wife. Her husband coming. Anything could have happened, man. You feel what I'm saying? So, like I said, me as a Christian, I have to forgive no matter what. But I ain't got to reconcile, and I don't have to accept nobody's apology. But I do have to forgive you. And that's what I would have told her. I would have said, I forgive you, but don't come around my spot no more. Ain't no reconciling. You got to live with that situation. You got to live with what you did. You feel me? And you ain't coming around me. We ain't friends. No, none of that. You hear me? But yeah, y'all tell me what y'all think about the situation in the comments, man. Thank you guys for watching the video. See you guys next video. Always remember, be separate, kings and queens. Wait, hold up, and I want to say this. Just because you got you got dudes out here with dreadlocks who may had who black, who may had a troubled past, don't mean we can't live in nice neighborhoods too. Look at me. It was funny because I had a salesman come to my door. They thought this was my dad. The house I live in is my dad's home. Like, no, buddy, I own this. Me. You can look like me and be successful. You can look like me and build big developments. You can have big, thick, wick dreadlocks and be successful. You can have some tattoos on your faces or whatnot, change your life, still be successful and live in neighborhoods like that. So I just want to let y'all know that. You feel me? But yeah, see you guys next video. Always remember, be separate, kings and queens. Let's get it.